Hey, family, welcome back to Mantle Motivations Podcast. Let's go ahead and jump right back into this interview with Chris Bishop. Stay tuned.
So, um, so you've been a part of the evolution of hip hop culture, right? With the passing of the torch, and now you're doing the same. So, how do you feel that the genre has changed over the years, and where do you see it heading in the future?
Yeah, there was a. It's funny because there was an interview about this with Sway in the morning, right? With this b-boy named Crumbs, and he said he got the hammer on the nail because there was a time in the 90s we had a Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, we had even like New Jack and all of these
Yep.
other like these genres that's just very oriented around dancing and vibing, and party groove and whatnot. And then when the bling bling era came, we had like the chains and the women and the money and the cars and the clothes. it it kind of like diverted away from just dance culture and just became like a material thing. And I
Yeah.
think over the course of time with rap, when the rap game, like we have all these like rappers that we mentioned, but you don't see any. The only dancers you see is girls, like the girls shaking, twerking on,
Yeah.
what I mean? It's
Yeah.
that aspect, but there's no real like cohesion. But I mean, when Kendrick dropped that They Not Like That, Not Like Us track, and he brought clowning back into like the limelight. And the thing about anybody that knows about clowning, it's like a very, like Compton, Tommy the Crown, that's a big thing out there in Compton. And
Mm-hmm.
so he put his neighborhood on the map even more so. And he also like kind of took the torch. Like Snoop and Dre already passed the torch from a while back, and he just
Yeah.
took it around it. So it's just like he already knew he had like that weight in his shoulders when he had to do that track. So it was like for him to bring clowning into the mix,
Mhm.
that's I'd love to see more of that, just incorporating these types of dancers in music videos. I mean, if you want to go like a little underground, we have this dude who's a up and coming rapper named Desi Hollow from Oceanside, and he's starting to do the same thing, bringing pop lockers and
Yeah.
lowriders, West Coast culture back into his raps, and kind of keeping like the hip hop like culture intact through it with street dance. And so um where it's coming back, and I would like to see it happen, on other coasts. I want to see Chicago footwork is in a Kanye video or a Common video or something, like just put
Uh-huh.
your city on the map. Cool. We're talking about like shooting each other, shot, you know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
always trap, it's not always about the, you know what I mean? And it's like I mean, it's like the message we got, it's like I can't remember who it's an obvious one. Great power, with great power comes great responsibility,
Mm.
and like for me, I have a responsibility to, build like programming out in my own right. So I'm doing that, in my own right, and kind
Yeah.
of getting them into this culture because it's dope. Like there's a lot of dope things I've seen.
It
And
is.
I've seen, yeah, and I've seen big dudes, like dudes bigger than me, like heavier guys, but they're just, when you see them get down in like a circle, you're just like, wow, they hard. You know what I mean? So um
That's so, and that it's funny you brought that up because that was going into my next question because I was getting ready to ask Kendrick or Drake.
Oh, I'm biased. I'm biased all the way. I'm
I,
biased all. I'm all
I
Kendrick.
same here, the same
Yeah,
here, and
yeah,
but that's just me coming from like I'm not really too much into the materialistic rap. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So I mean, it's cool to listen to. It's some good feel good music, got some good beats to it and everything. And you hear it in the club or whatever when you messing around. But when I'm really trying to vibe for real, I'm
yeah,
listening to some hip hop that's got some lyrics to it and lyrics that I can actually understand. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Because when mumble rap came out, oh my God, I was like, bro, what is like I couldn't hack it. You know what I mean? I just couldn't hack it. So I'm truly thankful for Kendrick because it had been a minute since he had put some music out. So when this whole little thing came about, I was like, yeah, thank you, Kendrick. Like you gave us
Yeah.
some real stuff to listen to and live by. And then like you said, he um brought the clowning back and put certain things back on the map. And that's another thing I miss from back in the day. Like us growing up, we had real videos to watch, real music videos. And it's like
Yeah.
nowadays, every scene in a music video is they're in a club or they sitting on the front porch or, you know what I mean? It's not really anything to, or it's a green screen behind them. You know, it's not really that much to it. Whereas back in the day, not to say that they wasn't on set or anything like that, but the music videos told stories, you know,
Yeah.
and we don't really get that much artistic vision too much anymore. It's some sprinkled in there, and then we get geniuses like, you know, Kendrick that come out, you know, with these amazing videos every once in a while, but it's like we need that on a consistent basis, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that I know that made you feel proud, didn't it?
Oh yeah, a lot of people were just like, everybody's like, yeah, he did that for the pop out. He did that. I keep on hearing those three words. He did that. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like the thing is that we had just lost Kobe, we had just lost Nipsey, we had just
Yeah.
lost a lot of the rappers and whatnot. They're just really influential in the scene. And it's just like when he came out with that, he brought everybody out, like
Mhm.
whoever. I mean, there were some people who didn't get to make it, but I mean, you just hear nothing but good reviews on it. And then it's like, yeah, everybody, even you even hear like Tom Hanks talking about the beef between like it
Yeah.
hit like, every major.
It was a big deal. And it was one of those things that brought Kendrick out, like I hate to say out the closet, but you know, out of hiding, I guess you could say, because he was silent for a minute. You know what
He
I
just
mean? No, it wasn't, you know what I
he
mean?
was yeah,
Huh.
he had just made his departure from Top Dog, the TDE label, and he just did his own thing, and then you didn't hear much about him, and now it's just like comes out with this, and it's just like, I
Yeah.
mean,
He
I
came
mean,
out with a bang.
yeah, I mean, even I DJ'd a school dance in Palm Springs last Friday, and I can play that Not Like Us, and the kids are just like, yeah, like it's like a whole like party anthem for like it is school dance anthem too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of gives us like a little like like it's just a thing. It's just we're just really proud about it, to be on the West to be able to do that. But I mean, um, just now it's like kind of igniting like what's gonna happen next. Who's gonna go? Like, is it Drake versus J. Cole next? I want to see what J. Cole's got.
Right.
Like there's a lot of it makes it exciting. And honestly, if I were to low key, I mean, people might give me flack for this, but I could have wanted to see like what would happen between J. Cole and Kendrick. That would have been a little bit more interesting to see.
I agree. I agree. I really do agree. And I mean, I know both of them, they grown. They would have kept it civil. You know what I
Mm,
mean? I truly believe that. They would have kept it civil. I don't think the beef would have went beyond them just, spitting on a mic. But and I understand what he did. He felt the need to do. That's cool. And I think because he knew Kendrick had an arsenal already, like so, but I would have loved to heard more from J. Cole. I really would have. I think that should have just been between J. Cole and Kendrick, like you said. Drake could have sat on the sidelines, honestly, for me. But that's just me. I know I might get some flack for it because a whole bunch of people love Drake. Eh, he's all right.
I
To
feel,
me.
yeah. And
Like
another
I
balance, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
like earlier.
agree.
I like earlier Drake. Like when he first came out, I was cool with that. But it's like
Mhm.
the Drake he is now, I'm not really feeling it too
It's
much. You
always
know
the
what I mean?
early
Hmm.
it's always the early stuff you like, like I
Yeah,
like the early stuff and I like, he was just like and then all of a sudden they transition and then it just changes over the course of time.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Lil Wayne. I mean, hey, Lil Wayne told him. He said, "Hey, man, leave that gangster stuff alone, man." You know what I mean? But yeah.
that's little Wayne saying that to you. I mean, he's been in the game for a minute.
Exactly. He spit nothing
Right.
but gangster. So I think he would know. But hey, things happen. But again, not to offend any of the Drake fans, he doing this thing. He is who he is. Because I don't want to get no hate mail. I don't want to get no
Uh,
you know. But yes, I am a Kendrick fan. But then again, I'm older and I like to listen to music that has meaning behind it. You know what I mean? That means something. So, all right. Let's talk about your artistic vision real quick. So,
yeah.
what is your artistic vision when you create? Like, whether it's through dance, music, or design, what message or feeling do you want to convey to your audience?
I just want them to get inspired to kind of start their own community. I'm like on this like just thing of just getting kids to do stuff that's outside of school that can get the parents involved, and it also is like the unification of families. I say that because when I was teaching in Palm Springs, they hadn't had any type of like choreographed like funk or hip hop in a minute. So when I was able to get the kids on stage, and this is like kindergarten through eighth grade, so we have little kindergarten kids on there, and they're doing tutting to Egyptian Lover, and their parents are just like, "Whoa, like I haven't seen this since I was a kid and whatnot," and you just see that cohesion, and like I see, nowadays we got co-parents. Co-parenting's the thing nowadays, so we have co-parents that are like meeting their kids, and it's like becoming like it's just a beautiful thing to see when you're able to like create a community that way to where parents can go support their kids, doing these street dance styles and performing them on a stage.
Mhm.
um you know I've been able to do that, and I just feel like my artistic vision is to kind of create more of that through not just dance but like their music too. Like I'm going to be teaching kids how to produce. And so with that, I'm going to try to create more programs to that so that they can have more like beat meetups, have showcases, I'm going to get started with that. And then, I mean, designing, it's a whole another thing, kind of creating kids like vision of what they can do with design work. And it's just, I'm teaching middle school kids, but it's
Mm.
a good age to kind of get inspired for anything, and it kind of transcends into like what they want to do when they hit high school. So middle school is like most people don't want to work in middle school because of the stress levels, but
Yeah,
at the
but
same time,
that's the transitional period. That's when you need to get them.
exactly. So yeah, that's my vision. My artistic vision is just to kind of inspire people to create more events and kind of create a community around what they're doing in school so that there'll be more opportunities to do stuff on the outside and can create more of a just a fulfilling a need.
Okay,
So,
that's what's up.
yeah.
All right. So you have, I think you spoke about something you have coming up. But are there any upcoming projects or collaborations that you're particularly excited about?
Really what now I'm just like focusing on like building a programming for the charter school because over the duration of time I was just a dancer initially, and then within being a dancer and an independent contractor, you have to learn how to do insurance, and you have to learn how to do contracts, and you have to learn how to do all these other like you have to learn how to do curriculum. So I was pretty invested in this program that I was a part of. It was called BAM, which is a special program in Palm Springs Unified that enabled us to go into schools to teach kids a particular art form. So my thing was dancing, but there's art, there's graffiti, there's, music, there's other mediums that we were using to kind of inspire kids to want to come to school because they wanted to fix truancy issues.
Yeah.
So for me, like I want now that I'm in a school setting, I'm going to be able to amplify the programming and add more to it with the curriculums, and hopefully like on a state level they'll be able to see what we do so that we can create something that kind of stretches out to, other schools. Like if there's a curriculum here, I'm sure like in Los Angeles, they're doing the same thing too. Like they have music programs inside the schools that can be more relevant for students to make beats and stuff. And so right now what I'm trying to do is, just build it out and just learn the job role of being a teacher. And then from there, that's in the school. Meanwhile, just connecting with people on the outside and staying tapped into the hip hop community, in my own community, and helping when they're doing events and whatnot. And for me, I'm an advocate of dance, and I like to do dance events. And so for me, like there's a lot of moving pieces to this community,
Mm-hmm.
and we're all like go-getters at the end of the day. We all used to be athletes. So athletes are really good go-getters. So like we're all just kind of like putting our heads together and just really building out this community so that, it has like a long-term thing to where, we can give kids something to do. And grant funding's coming out, so it's
Yeah.
like hopefully people just see the potential.
Okay, that's what's up. I remember you were telling me about an event you DJ'd um at was it the Cheech Hall?
Oh
Um
yeah, the
uh,
Music
yeah,
Museum.
talk about that real quick.
Yeah, I was the first one of the first DJs to actually I was the first DJ on Riverside Arts Walk to DJ at the Cheech Museum in downtown Riverside. And people don't know what the Cheech is, but they know who Cheech and Chong are. It was like the movie stars of that classic movie.
Yeah.
Well, the city of Riverside decided to give Cheech Marin his own Chicano art museum, and it's still there till this day in downtown Riverside. They call it the Cheech, and
Okay.
you walk in and you see it's like a three-story building when you walk in,
Hmm.
and there's nothing but just art from different people from like all walks of the world and
Oh, that's dope.
photography, and they always have events there and whatnot too. So I got a chance to DJ there, got a chance to DJ at the Riverside Arts Museum as a DJ, and just kind of make a name for myself in that regard. But me, I kept it funky. I was always thinking like backyard boogie, what would this dude Cheech want to hear? And so I
Yeah.
was just like, all right, I'm gonna play nothing but good funk music. So that's why I kept it.
That's what's up. Was he there?
No, he wasn't there. He was there at the grand
Oh,
opening.
sure. He
Yeah,
was at
no,
the grand opening.
yeah, grand opening is like where like all the people were, but the on the local level, the Cheech, they have a Riverside Art Walk. They have like a local event that happens in Riverside every first Thursday of every month.
Hmm.
So for the first Thursday, the teacher brought me out to DJ, and I was DJing inside, just doing my thing, just oh, and I had my buddy Jesus, he's an artist right there too. By the way, he has some of his art in the Smithsonian in DC, so it's a
Really?
he's a character out there in Riverside too, and he's the one who put me on. And I was playing funk while he was painting on an easel, just an art platform. So
Yeah.
it was a really fun and a really cool experience with a good friend of mine that I had contact with, and it was like the mixing of cultures and just showing like it's just a good little it was a good little vibe that we set there, and I'm pretty proud of that. It's like a bucket list check.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. With being able to do that and getting that exposure. So how has uh how has your exposure grown from when you first started to now? Because I know you've been all over Cali, all over the Bay Area and everything, but how was that progression
Oh, progression from my dancing?
from
Oh,
dancing to DJing and everything? Like how was that progression from when you first started to where you are now?
oh yeah. So everything kind of happened in conjunction to each other. I was well, graphic design was happening while I was dancing in college for a dance club. And so that was like the place where, in my humble beginnings, I was learning how to dance at school.
Hmm.
In between classes, that's all I wanted to do was like dance, and I wanted to go battle. I wanted to like represent and kind of feel like I was a part of something. So I was in a dance club.
Yeah.
And then from dance club, I ended up being I was in student government at my community college. I got really involved there. And in there, like college is like where I did all of my learning. I was just learning as much as I possibly could because I was trying to figure out what I really wanted to do for a career. So when I was into like marketing and had some of these people that they had like little sessions where they inspired me to get into like marketing career. I was like really with like the Transfer and Career Center, so I was like deep in my college studies, just like really utilizing every resource that I could like to learn. But dance was there, and in conjunction with that, I was learning how to make flyers like slowly on Photoshop. But it wasn't until I met the director of the graphics wing
Hmm.
that I was actually able to learn like the print process and like how they do like brochures and different forms of media. And for me, like I sucked things up like a sponge when I
Yeah.
was younger. So it was just like these people were just very, and these people are hidden figures. They're not, they're probably by now they're retired, but they put me on to like, a whole experience of just what the purpose is behind certain things and why they do things. And I took every, source of information and just ran with it. It's all about at the end of the day, even Da Vinci even says like it's a life of learning, and so it's just like we're very, you know, us as humans, like if we kind of stop ourselves from like, learning and whatnot, we become complacent, and it's like when you become complacent, that's when you start thinking about, "Oh, man, my life's not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. What am I doing? I need to teach a dance class. You know what I need to do? Something to start a podcast. I need to, um, just kind of spring into action because once you're in that zone of just being complacent, like you kind of close your mind off and you become miserable. And
Yeah,
I've been in that area too, but it's like,
me too.
yeah, you gotta be able to kind of get yourself out of that funk,
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
that's where I was with this. Like I was going through a transitional phase or transitional not phase of but in transitional moment. And I guess I kind of got a little bit complacent because um leaving my career of policing and corrections and stuff, and now it was like, okay, I did that. Now what? You know? And I hate to be stagnant. I hate just sitting and not doing anything. So I'm like, what's next? I need to do something with purpose, something with, you know, something that I have a love for. You know what I mean? Not just the job to job to job thing, because that's not my purpose. I might have a purpose or an assignment to do while I'm there, but outside of that, I need something for me. That's gonna help me and give me life. Like you said, with dancing and with DJing and with marketing and creative design and everything. Um, excuse me, those things that you're doing uh feed you as well, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And then because you're getting all of that fuel, you're able to continue to keep giving because it fuels you to give, so it's like a continuous cycle, right? When you say,
Oh no, you're totally right. And it's like a continuous cycle, and it's just you never know who you motivate or who you inspire, and it's like sometimes you have somebody who's having a bad day, and they're just like, hey, so I just got in a fight, but I want to be able to perform and make my dad proud, and I guess some of these kids have like really real world issues, like
yeah,
some like parents dad just got out of jail and his mom passed away, so the dad's got to take care of his son and he wants his son to do right, so it's like he's these are like true stories of like the things that we have to like listen to and know, like these are the kids that we're helping out, and this is this little class is going to help them, grow and give them like the self-confidence, maybe a little getaway from the drama in their lives, and so that's ultimately what we do it for. And then obviously just the fulfillment part of just feeling like we did something for them, like we made some type of difference, so I can go on how like I'm happy where I'm at and I'm benefiting, it's just it took a long time to kind of get to this road now, and now it's
yeah.
just like
It take
now
a
that I'm
minute.
like exactly and
It take a minute. Yeah, because
exactly.
I think we have to, we have to learn because when uh we have to go through the process and to learn to appreciate it. You know what I mean? Because first starting out with something, you might take it for granted. Like what I'm doing now, I probably would have not have been as focused or dedicated if I started doing this maybe 10, 15 years ago. You know what I mean? I would have probably picked it up and then dropped it and went on to something else. But it's like now I'm more centered and I'm more focused, so now I can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
So
it's you're probably inspiring a lot of young black girls too.
I hope so.
I'm sure if I tell my students that my cousin's like a detective in the police force and whatnot, they'll be like, "What? What does she do?" They'll already be intrigued. So
Hey
yeah,
man, hopefully I
totally.
can come. Not hopefully. I'm not gonna say hopefully. I will get out there. I'm coming to the West Coast. I am coming to the West Coast, and we gonna link up, and we gonna do something. We gonna do something big, man.
I'm
We
gonna have you. Yeah, I'm gonna have you go talk to the kids one day and just like pick your brain a little bit. That'd be
Hey, I
pretty
don't
fun.
mind. I'm here.
Yeah,
I love
that'd
the kids. I'm here for the kids.
exactly. I think yeah, they'll love it too. They'll be like, "Wow!" Like stories of like stories kids asks.
Yeah, and I got so many from working in corrections and outside on the street. Lord Jesus. Yeah.
That's a whole nother talk for you. They set
That's
up for
a
you.
whole nother podcast.
Yeah, I
I could
like it.
start a whole series on that alone, man. But yeah,
Yeah, I can't
so
wait to see where this goes.
man, who you telling? Um, so reflecting on your journey, right? From overcoming adversity to shaping young minds, how have you personally grown? Like what key moments or lessons have been pivotal in your development as both as an artist and as an individual?
Mm, well, there's a few things. Like there's first off, I'm God fearing. So for me, I'm always thinking of like scripture. So I think about Deuteronomy 31:6, and he's basically saying, like be strong and unafraid. And I don't remember it to heart, but I remember the thing about the verse was, even in moments of fear, God's got you, and it
Yeah.
just taught me how to like get through that. And when I'm going outside and there's still, there's still poverty, there's still racism, there's still other issues in this country that outside of dance that, I endure and I'm sure these kids can endure. But for me, like as a man first, I try to like stay on that, just being fearless and just knowing that God's got you and, he's not going to let you, fail or, falter. You're always going to learn something from your experience, so I'm like, I kind of stay on that. And then, yeah, just really carrying on to just being a better leader, like growing into a better leader. And I've grown into a better leader. Like it wasn't just an overnight thing. I was always wondering how different people like worked and seeing, that there's a pattern with these type of people, studying greats, listening to motivational talks with people who have achieved success, I mean, um Gary Vee's a big guy that I listen to. He's like a
I love
marketing.
him. Yeah.
He's super, super dope person, very inspiring, and just kind of reminds you like, hey, like just keeps it practical and just like reminds you just to get out of your own head and just go out and do it, man. Because it's like if you don't, like, you're gonna have I mean, he did. I don't know if he quotes this, but it's just you're gonna have the regret of not doing anything, and you're just kind of like, man, I coulda, shoulda, woulda. And if the
Yeah.
word should comes in your mindset, like that's already the indication that you're already like keeping yourself back, like I should go to the gym, I should do this, I should stop drinking. And I'm just like, yeah, this habits, I mean, it's like for me, just growing up, I'm gonna have my own habits, but at the same time, it was like learning my own self and knowing like, what's too much, like high blood pressure, don't have too much sodium, simple, don't stop eating chips.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like little things like that. But I
Put the
mean,
chips down.
yeah. But then the bigger, it's just the bigger like message of just just try to be best. I think it's like for me, I try to be like somebody. I want to dance like Bionic Man. I want to dance like Mr. Wiggles. I want to dance like Rocksteady Crew. But I
Mhm.
forgot about my own self and my own upbringing, and now I'm on this journey of just becoming the best form of myself. And just kind of like enjoying and being comfortable with certain things, and just, not being afraid of, judgment or ridicule or, some people, they just don't have enough in their own life to where they feel like they have the need. Like, we got trolls, we got haters. That's just the way of the game, but
Yeah.
even even between that, we have people who are keyboard trolls who like to say or do things trying to like talk spit, but there's always an underlying insecurity with people like that that just I don't even I don't even do the time of day. And then yeah, I just
That
it's
is.
yeah, I got this quote. Hey, can I cuss on here or not?
Yeah, yeah, bro. You good? You good?
I have this quote like I don't got time for bullshit.
Yeah.
Too busy doing bullshit. So I kind of stay on that because it's just like anything now is just extra noise that you don't really need to hear. You're just like you can't be slowing yourself down. Sometimes like I wait for people's approval to do something. Now I don't. I have no fears in like what I do as long as there's a structure intact. Like it's like it's open, with what I'm doing. And yeah, I just it's just been growth over the course of years and understanding like what what to do, what not to do, and the more like leadership, the more I grow, the more of a leader I become, and the more wise I become, and then I'm being seen as a role model. So it's like I really have to watch my as a leader, you have to really be aware of your actions and how you
Yeah.
represent yourself.
You
So
got to be intentional, very intentional. Yeah.
and for me, we're fortunate to have a grandfather who was in the military, and the way he held himself was like, that's a man that, even though I really didn't get a chance to like spend time when I was younger, that's somebody that is still in this day. Why can I do so many pull-ups? Why can I, run? Why can I, it's like, it's
Pop, pop.
all, yeah, exactly. So it's like, and I know he loved all of us, so for me, I'm just like, it's kind of like holding and instilling a sense of like who I have to be as a man, so
Yeah.
I'm just living it every day, I'm
That's
proud
what's up.
to be, yeah, I don't got no little bishops yet, but I'm gonna make bishops. I'm gonna make
I
some real
heard
bishops.
that. Yeah. Let's get some more bishops in here.
Oh, yeah. They got twang in them and everything. They're
And
gonna be
I'm glad you talked about the mentoring, and because the thing about it is it's about authenticity too, and
yeah,
people are drawn to authenticity, because there's so much fake in the world right now. So people who are themselves, it's like it has its own natural gravitational pull, because there's so many people out here being fake. It's like people who are authentic, it's like a diamond in the rough almost. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And real recognize real. Even fake people recognize real. And that's when you start getting the haters and everything, because fake people really don't like real people being around, because it show
yeah,
how fake they are. So
yeah,
you got to keep them at bay. You know what I mean? And then talking about our words, what we say, have power. And that's why with being a mentor and walking in our truth, we have to be intentional with what we say. I was having a conversation with somebody earlier today, and I was telling them about something that I wanted to do. And I was like, yeah, I'm aspiring to be. I said, no, I'm not aspiring. I am going to be such and such and so and so. You know what I mean? And it's like we got to change the way we talk about certain things, especially about ourselves. If it's something we're gonna do, we're gonna say we're gonna do it. And things start, it starts in the mind, it moves to the heart, and comes out our mouth. You know what I mean? And once it comes out our mouth, it's out there in the universe, and the
yeah,
universe is listening always. So it's like, oh, that's what you said. Oh, well, that's what you're gonna get.
yeah, exactly,
So
exactly,
so we have to be very intentional with what we say, and with what we do, and that's something that I'm um practicing, doing my best to practice on a daily basis, to make changes happen in my life, and helping
yeah.
other people as well. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, so I had another question. So I got two more questions for you.
So
Um,
yeah,
if
ready.
if there was anything you can change about your experiences in the past, what would it be and why?
If I can change any of my experiences in the past,
Hmm.
um, that's a good question. Part of me was like, because now that I know what I know, maybe consider a career in computer programming, kind of see how deep I could have dove inside like a computer engineering, coding, and whatnot. But another part of me is also thinking I can't really sit still in an office environment, and I always have to move constantly. So I think this was like my purpose, was, to be able to do what I do, and be in the position that I'm in, and I'm really fortunate, like, and I feel like through all of these, so many dancers in the world that could have had like this experience, but I was chosen, from people who believed in me, and I took it and I ran with it, and now it's like the proof is in the pudding, so it's like I'm glad, and I try to live with no regrets on behind my decisions. So now it's just really believing in myself, just knowing that, whatever I set my mind to, I can essentially do it. Just, in the it can be really chaotic in certain areas, but if you can keep a sense of calm and composure with what you're doing, it's always like super helpful, kind of keeps you calm and whatnot.
Mm.
Life experiences, working at Domino's Pizza, you know, for example, being really busy making pizzas and stuff like that, like for me, always remaining a sense of calm, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, Hopefully I'm answering the question.
Yeah, no,
Hopefully
you
my
good. You good. Good.
Yes, so
All right,
yeah.
so last question I have, I always like to ask this, what advice would you give your younger self, or more so your teenage self? And um do you think that that younger version of you is proud of the person that you've become?
Almost definitely. My former self would be proud of the person I became because I went out and I just followed my dreams of what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. And as a dancer in a community, I'll just break it down. Like as a street dancer in a street dance community, a lot of us look at those woo moments when you're in a circle, and I've had plenty of those, and it felt so good, and it gave me that affirmation, and people were just like respecting me because I've done that, and I've kind of like been at just being able to do something organically and just not have to go Hollywood with it.
Yeah.
And it's just being able to get respected by people who are of that scene and they know exactly who I am. And they've even come out to, I've had like, world famous dancers in my car driving them around. And I'm fortunate, to just being able to do that. Then when it comes to music, like I'm getting like accolades from, people like I reached out to, I don't know if you've heard of Dave East, the rapper.
Yeah.
So I reached out to him with one of my beats, and he sent me like a message back, like that's dope or whatever. But for me, unfortunately, I was such you got to pay to play with people like that. So it's like, yeah, it's like studio time and stuff like that. It ain't cheap, but to get
Yeah.
like,
No way.
people like that, or there's this guy named DJ Fresh from the Bay Area. He came and gave me accolades, and there's also people that I'm linked with in the DJ scene
Hmm.
that have given me like the props and the love that I it's till now this day, like I'm just like it's humbling, and
Yeah.
there's I can name a lot of people, honestly, cousin, that are famous and they're doing their thing, but that's them. I'm never gonna ask for a handout. I just know them and I respect what they do and they respect what I do. But by
Mhm.
the same token, I'm over here like, okay, what am I doing for myself? And is it fulfilling a purpose? Because I can be like, oh yeah, this person knows Snoop. Like my homie works for Snoop. Oh yeah, then boom, 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 boom. But I'm like, I'm not the type of person to kind of reach out and be like, hey yo, give me some tickets to Snoop. I'm not a user. I don't,
Right.
take advantage of people like that. I probably should, but it's just
Every once in a while.
yeah, yeah. But at the same time, it's just like I'm kind of building my own, and I'm just kind of letting, it's a mix of faith. It's a mix of just hard work. There's no substitute for hard work. That's one thing I would tell my former self is like, whatever you do is no substitute for hard work, and then you're always going to try to be the best form of yourself, definitely. And then you're going to need to get stronger. You're going to need to get smarter, and you're going to need
Yep,
to find ways to sharpen your skills, like stay sharp, because you got to be as sharp as like a fighter pilot.
you do.
Or just any of those like roles that just takes that pure meticulous. I mean, look at Bruce Lee, for example. Everything was like the most best people in the world had an efficiency to them. You have Muhammad Ali. You had even I'm talking boxing nowadays. Tank Davis, like he's probably the most efficient fighter I've watched so far, and he's very
Mhm.
fun to watch. But he's got a purpose behind his style to where every time he knocks people out, he's always strategizing. He's always waiting for them to make that one mistake, and then he
Yeah.
pounces. And that's greatness right there. That's
Yep.
studying it and just just getting after it, and it's like really it's, we sleep on like libraries and reading books and stuff like that and just kind of getting all this knowledge that can inspire us to, and embark on our own little journey.
Hmm.
So I'm still I'm still dancing and whatnot, but I'm still learning like, our African side on that side of the family and like
Yeah.
there's dance and different cultures that I'm still yet to learn, you know? So it's like I have a goal of wanting to go to Nigeria and just check out that place and just, talk to Kiki about that too. She
Oh
down.
yeah.
Plan a Nigeria trip one of these days for sure.
That's
Yeah,
what's up.
I'm already thinking ahead. I'm already thinking ahead.
Now you could. It's funny you just said that because I know Auntie. She had put up on Facebook. She did a DNA thing, and
Yeah,
found out that our bloodline, we're like from all over the western coast of
Africa.
Africa, like
Yeah,
Togo, Nigeria, Ghana, like all of that. And of
I
course,
found that.
because
Yeah,
Bishop is an English name, so some parts of England and the Mississippi area, but yeah, we like our bloodline comes from all up and down the west coast of Africa. So yeah, it's in us, cuz we it's in us.
exactly. So for
Um,
me, it's just like culture,
yeah, man.
culture.
Yeah. And that's another reason too why I think like we're so gifted um and multi-talented as far as being creatives. You know what I mean? Because even looking at other cousin like Jocelyn, like all the stuff that she's done. You know what I mean? Like the
Amazing team.
dancing, the
Yeah.
singing, and the acting, and and our auntie, and and everything they did when they were younger. Like, oh my goodness,
Making a name for ourselves.
man, the bishops for real, like,
Yeah.
you know, and even your dad, like who he played with, he was on tour and doing all that type of stuff. So it's like, yeah, man, it's in our genes. We've got nothing but greatness in us. We don't have no other choice,
Yeah.
honestly, but to be
Mhm.
great. So let's roll with it. Let's roll with it. All right, man.
Yeah,
So
cool.
look, I want you to I want you to give everybody your socials. Where can they find you at? Where can they find your music and everything? I want them to follow you. So give us your Instagram and where you have your music uploaded to, so we can go ahead and check you out because you got some dope beats, man. You got some good
Yeah.
stuff.
I got some of the pockets. There's projects that I've worked on over the course of I want to say 4 or 5 years now. But so the best place to reach me and just contact, it's like my Instagram. It's Chris Bishop 1990. And then the link to all of my music is in the bio, on my Instagram. And when you click it, you'll be able to access all of my music on Apple Music, Spotify, all platforms, and even down to my SoundCloud. And so SoundCloud's more of my like exclusive beats that I like to
Yeah,
chop up and sample. And you can't really use every sample because you copyright for copyright purposes, but SoundCloud's got that avenue. But yeah, I'm under the artist handle 3ish. It's kind of like the artist formerly known as Prince. That's what I
yeah,
did there.
yeah. I got
I
you. I
I
like
created
that.
created a brand just for like the beats itself because I
Uh-huh.
was just trying to detach my name from it. Because there was a lot of bishops in the world trying to make music. We might be
Right.
related to some, who knows?
Right.
But yeah, so that's where I'm at right there. 3ish on Spotify, Apple Music, 3ish.
I got
That's
you.
it.
And then I know earlier this year, it was a couple months ago, did you just release something on YouTube too? You had a
So I have a mix that I released. It's like an hour mix of all my music that I produced from it's called just Mixed Blend. And it's
mhm.
just all music that I just made over the course of years that I felt like were pretty good to, put in a mix. And I made all my music, I DJ'd it, I mixed it from like every track that I've done over the course of time. And it's like there's timestamps there. So if you're not feeling this one, you'll be able to feel this one. And they're all over. They're all over
Hey,
the
y'all,
platform.
y'all
Find
play
them.
it all the way through. I ain't playing that. Play
Yeah.
it all the way through because it's it's dope from start. My personal opinion from start to I think I even told you that, but from start to finish, it's dope. I listened to it a couple times and I had it on repeat, and I went back and listened to it again because it's I mean it flowed. It
Yeah.
flows. So I love it. I love it.
I'm
So one more time, give them what's your Instagram?
Chris Bishop, 1990.
And then you said 3ish. Is that that's Spotify, right?
Yeah, it's 3ish. It's under 3ish. So Yeah, that's my Spotify handle.
Okay.
So that's where you'll find all my music and yeah, a lot of good jams
And
on
then
there.
what's your YouTube? What's your YouTube?
It's actually under 3-ish too. You can put like
Okay.
3-ish music and I'll be there. Yeah, it'll be there. There's like a couple of beats that I have on there too, and I go through like DistroKid to kind of do all my distribution. But I mean, I've been doing pretty well. Like, I mean, I have listeners in like Indonesia and
Yeah.
Vietnam, and you're able to see all the analytics so far. So it's like, we have people, I have listeners domestically and here too, but it's just, I don't promote it as much as I should, but at the same time, it was just a passion project. It's just like making beats from a desk and just keeping it like fresh, keeping it organic, and kind of putting a little bit of my own culture into my music too. So there's elements of me playing guitar too, and yeah, just it's pretty cohesive. Like there's something in there for everyone, basically.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it. Well, Chris Cuzzo, I appreciate you, man, for being on the podcast and sharing with me and sharing with everybody, with all the listeners. Um, I really want y'all to check out his stuff. I really want y'all to check him out, check out his Instagram. You'll see him popping on there. You'll see him playing his guitar. You'll see him getting it in. You see some of his graphic design. And then check out the music because the music, I mean, is good. It's really good. I'm telling you. I know good music. Okay, I listen to Kendrick Lamar, so I know.
appreciate
So
that.
it's good stuff. So please check out my cousin. Don't leave him hanging. All right. Again, cuz I love you, man, and I appreciate you for being on Mantle Motivations podcast. You're amazing.
Mantle Motivations. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And as always, y'all, you know what I say. Your crown may be tilted, but never ever let it fall. Peace and love.
Like that. Peace and love.